Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we break down the biggest political stories shaping South Africa and the African continent. If you care about the future of our democracy, party politics, and the internal battles threatening to reshape the ANC, then this is a video you don't want to miss. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment with your thoughts, because what we're about to unpack today goes to the very heart of South Africa's political future. Today, we're diving into the bold warning issued by African National Congress Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula. A warning that exposes not just the growing cracks inside the ANC, but also the high-stakes power struggles quietly unfolding behind the scenes. With national elections on the horizon and the ANC's support hovering around a dangerous 40%, Mbalula's statement comes as both a desperate plea and a strategic intervention. Let's start by unpacking the context. The ANC, once the unshakable party of liberation, has been bleeding support for over a decade. Corruption scandals, weak service delivery, and factional infighting have turned public sentiment sour. Now, as we inch closer to the 2026 local elections and the 2027 ANC elective conference, the party is standing on a knife's edge. And it's in this moment of crisis that some party members have started doing what they do best, jockeying for power. Whispers of new presidential campaigns, backdoor meetings, and early alignments are already in motion. And that's exactly what has triggered Mbalula's sharp rebuke. Speaking to both the public and party insiders, Mbalula didn't mince his words. He called out those prematurely launching leadership campaigns within the ANC, calling their actions ill-timed, destructive, and a threat to the party's fragile unity. "We are a 40% party," Mbalula said bluntly, an unusually frank admission for an ANC leader. Anyone who is engaged in this discussion and campaign doesn't appreciate the moment we find ourselves in as an organization. Let that sink in. For the Secretary-General of the ANC to publicly state that the party is at 40% support is not just a political admission, it's a political earthquake. It signals that the ruling party no longer takes its majority for granted, and that internal discipline is deteriorating under pressure. So who exactly is Mbalula talking about? While he didn't name names, insiders believe this warning is aimed at both veteran politicians and new aspirants who are eyeing Cyril Ramaphosa's seat. Some of these campaigns are already quietly underway, operating through proxies, media leaks, and back-channel lobbying. There are strong rumors that members aligned with the so-called Radical Economic Transformation (RET) faction, who have never truly accepted Ramaphosa's leadership, are regrouping. There's also speculation that new generation leaders are using this leadership vacuum as a launchpad for their own ambitions. But Mbalula says now is not the time. The ANC, he insists, should be focusing on reconnecting with voters, fixing its governance record, and restoring public trust, not tearing itself apart with another power contest. And he didn't stop there. He went on to accuse external forces of manipulating the ANC's internal tensions for their own gain. He referred to these groups as agent provocateurs, people or organizations allegedly working from outside to destabilize the party from within. Now, whether you believe in this idea of external sabotage or not, the deeper message is clear. Mbalula is deeply worried that internal division is handing the ANC's enemies a loaded weapon. Let's not forget, factionalism is what nearly collapsed the ANC after Jacob Zuma's presidency. And even after Ramaphosa's supposed clean-up mission, the party remains splintered. The 2022 National Conference saw vicious battles for control, and the scars from that event haven't healed. So what happens if this continues? Let's be brutally honest. If leadership battles take center stage now, before the party even stabilizes, it could lead to electoral disaster. We are already in the era of coalitions. The ANC failed to secure outright majorities in key metros like Johannesburg, Tshwane, and eThekwini. If it loses even more ground, we could see a repeat of coalition chaos on a national level, this time with the ANC no longer in charge. Mbalula seems to understand this threat. His warning is also a strategic move to reassert central authority, his authority, and to silence the noise until the timing is right. But will anyone listen? That's the million-rand question. Because historically, ANC leaders have often ignored these calls for discipline. Think back to the years before the Polokwane Conference in 2007, when Thabo Mbeki's opponents built a campaign that eventually led to his ousting. Or the bitter divisions before the 2017 conference that brought Ramaphosa to power. Premature campaigns aren't new, they're the ANC's unofficial national sport. What's different now, though, is that the stakes have never been higher. The ANC is no longer the dominant force it once was. Every internal fight, every leaked letter, and every public spat chips away at what little credibility remains. And in a country where unemployment, poverty, and inequality are growing worse, the electorate is watching closely. If the ANC continues on this path of self-sabotage, it could be facing a future in opposition. And that's not just speculation, that's a real possibility. Mbalula's message may seem like a call for unity, but it's also a desperate attempt to preserve power. Because once a liberation movement falls below 50%, as the ANC did nationally in 2024, it becomes just another party scrambling to survive. That's a psychological shift that no leader can afford to ignore. So what should we expect going forward? Mbalula says the ANC will announce the roadmap for its next elective conference in due time. Until then, he wants the party to stay focused on governance, public engagement, and internal renewal. But in a party this fragmented, will discipline hold? Or will we see more breakaway movements, secret slates, and another round of power politics that puts party interests ahead of the country? One thing's for sure, the ANC's internal battles are no longer just the party's problem. They affect all of us. Whether you're a supporter, a critic, or just a concerned South African, what happens inside Luthuli House shapes everything from policy to public services to national stability. And so, as the power games begin in the shadows, we'll be here to shine a light. Thanks for watching. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. What do you think about Mbalula's warning? Can the ANC hold itself together long enough to win back the public, or is the era of ANC dominance truly over? See you next time.